Hello, guys. My name is Malik, and this is I'm doing my interviews that I'm going to present to you guys that I've done for our church growth class. One church that I picked that is growing currently as we speak is the church that I'm at, Compass Christian Church, in Colleyville, Texas. My interview was with a guy named Dave Tony. He is the executive pastor here at Compass Church. He's been here for a while. So I'm just going to go through the questions and that I asked him, and I'm going to answer them just to tell you how my interview went. It was pretty cool. I met in his office. He's a pretty chill guy, and in the middle of his office, he has a table, and his door is continuously open. So if you have any questions, he says you can just walk in, knock on the door, and sit at his table. And that's what we did. We sat at his table, and we had a good probably 20-minute interview. It was pretty cool. Went pretty fast, and I went right back to work. All right, starting the interview, I went with question number one. Describe the size and location of the staff, just location of the church, etc. And he said the staff is full-time and part-time between 60 and 70 people. There are about 22 pastoral positions that fluctuate time to time. Our location is 3 separate campuses, which is the one that I work at is the Colleyville campus, which is the main building. There's Compass Center, which is right across the street, catty corner from us. Actually, it's where we do our community groups, which is Rooted. We have other services that go on there, and then we have a Roanoke campus, which is at Medlin Junior High School in Roanoke, which will be a Roanoke campus off of 114 soon. Question number 2 was, what hindrances are you facing with church growth now? And he said the main hindrance is getting our people to think that church is not here for them. It's for the people that are not reached. I can attest to that because usually people show up to church and they're like, what's next? After you led through discipleship and you know the gospel, I believe strongly that that you're called to bring somebody in that does not know the gospel, which is really hard to get. It's something hard to do, but I mean it's doable. We can do it. That's the reason why my parents are at church, and the reason why everybody that attends church is at church is because somebody invited them. Our biggest thing is that we have to realize it's not entertainment for us. It's actual worship. Another really big hindrance of ours is that we have 7 services every weekend, meaning that we have to find a way to fit everybody into a segment of church and do that service 7 times during the weekend. So we can't grow any bigger in the building that we're in. When I started to come to church here at Compass, it looked differently. The walls were closer together. Like the halls were smaller. We had more classrooms. There weren't many open rooms. But the church itself, literally the location inside the walls of the church has changed. When I came here, there was no cube. They added on like a little playpen for kids. And then where my room is, the preteen room, it used to be 5 classrooms. Now that's just an open area just for 4th and 5th grade because 4th and 5th grade has grown that much. The hallway downstairs and the main hallway from the exit to the entrance of the sanctuary has been extended so we can fit people going down the hallway just itself. So we cannot grow at the Colleyville campus any bigger than what we are now. So that's another major hindrance that we have here. Question number 3 is, how long have you served in your present position in ministry? And for Dave Tony, it was kind of like, it kind of shocked him back to where he used to be. Dave Tony has been actually at this church for 28 years. And he's been the executive pastor for 5.5 years now. And there's a story behind this. It's leading question number 4. What led you into ministry? Drew Sherman, our lead pastor, and his younger brother, meaning Dave's younger brother, influenced him to be in ministry. His younger brother is actually a minister, and it kind of influenced him to, kind of be like his younger brother, which is kind of cool. An older sibling being influenced by a younger sibling. I think that's awesome. And our lead pastor kind of just, jokingly asked him the question, would you think about going into ministry? And, one thing led to another. Dave worked for Verizon for 23 years and had a moment where he volunteered for the position. And after 23 years, he was just going to volunteer for the position of executive pastor after one of his good friends had left to help plant a church in Massachusetts. And one day at Verizon, his regional boss, had called in, and they were all in on the meeting. And Verizon said, "Hey, one of you guys actually, we're asking one of you guys to retire." And right in his face was this position where he wanted to volunteer. Instead, he can come on to church and lead ministry there, and he's knocking out the park. I love Dave Toney. Such a good guy. Question number 5. Is your vision for ministry the same now as when it started? He said, definitely not close. I thought my position was to manage staff at first, but now my vision is to serve the staff, and I humbly accept the role as a servant more than just a leader. That's one thing that's like really huge to me. The word serve is really, really, really big for me. Dave does that excellently. I never really had felt like I was under, a corporate leadership to where I only see him in emails. He's always going to meetings and all that type of stuff. He always comes to me and asks me, how can I serve you? How can I make this better? And that's something that I need right now. That's something I need all the time from any leader, just because I envision myself of being a leader one day, and that's just the perfect way I would love to lead. I would love to serve other people in a leadership role. That is awesome. Question number 6, do you view a personal or corporate leadership style to be more effective within your ministry? And his answer was really funny. Being that he worked at Verizon for 23 years, he was more corporate when he came on the team just because that's the way he's been trained. But as the years go on, he's actually more personal, meaning like his door's open now to other people that want to walk in and just talk about life. He is open to it. If he needs to communicate with you, if it's not any type of text message that he can reach to you or email that cannot be reached to you, he will walk in your office and he will talk with you. He's a very personal guy, and I wouldn't have it any other. I wouldn't want to have it any other way with him. Question number 7, what is your main goal in your ministry? Of course, Compass Christian Church, our mission statement is to navigate people to God. It's a very true statement. It's a very relevant mission statement / vision statement. Navigating people to God is not only a mission here at Compass Church, it's also a vision here at Compass Church. Question number 8. What does discipleship look like in your ministry? I would simply just say community groups. Right now we are going through a 12-week course for adults through Rooted groups. Well, not just for adults. We have Rooted kids. We have Rooted students as well. And it's a 12-week course of discipleship. The whole entire congregation is our goal to have to take this class. This class is to empower every single person that walks through the door, not just because we want to empower them, but that's our goal in Christ, is to be empowered, as to be one unified body, like our friend Paul had wrote in the New Testament, just to be one unified body, to understand what the goal is for Christianity, so that we can have, people coming off the streets, feeling the love and feeling, that they belong, feeling like they're in a family. I would say that the church here has exploded because of community groups. The reason why we have to move our services and purchase land is because of our community groups. I would say this is one of the few churches where I've seen somebody come from just being a regular attender to a volunteer to a leader to a pastor, and then they're elders. Like I've never seen that at any other church in front of my eyes, at least. I'm only 24 years old. I'm not that old. So next question, number 9. What does evangelism look like in your ministry? And he says, our goal is to build and empower the people of God. We grow the church, planters, ministers, pastors, or just leaders. Evangelism in our church is sending out normal people every day to shine God's light. And I would say that should be the goal of pretty much every church. That was the goal of the church in Antioch. That was the goal of the church in, Ephesus. That was the goal from the first century all the way 20 centuries later. This is us still today, to empower people. Evangelism is reaching people that just haven't heard the name of Jesus. I say church is for the growing of people, to help evangelize, to bring people in. And question number 10. Describe your ministry in 5 words. I like this. He doesn't use 5 words, but he almost gets there. He says, serving our God by serving our staff. And which is really, his part of ministry really is, I can attest to that, it really is, it's serving our staff, which is great. Acts of service is really, really big around here. That's one of our core values here at Compass Church. I thoroughly enjoyed our interview. I learned a lot about our executive pastor. I already knew him as just a regular attender. I knew him because of his children, but interviewing him was just a step closer of bringing our friendship together. It was really awesome. I hope you guys aren't bored by watching this video. I hope we all get something from this. That's the end of video 1. I have video number 2 coming up. Thank you, guys. Bye.